Never have I encountered such a... Oh, okay, it's the same. Okay, yeah, this is all the same. Still, gotta talk to Y'shtola any chance I get. I shall be interested to hear how Urianje's experience compares to our own. So she had something different to say. It's a crapshoot every time. Prelude in Violet. Alize is eager to rendezvous with Urianger. Urianger agreed to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. Good luck. I should get back to the meeting with the Elder Seedseer. But if there's anything I can do, anything at all, you must let me know, alright? Promise me. I kind of feel bad, like it was... Lise was a scion not too long ago. She was one of us, and then she's like the only one to not get called. I don't know, there's kind of a sadness to it for me. But it completely makes sense with what Graha would know of the Scions, I guess, at this time. Right, let's be on our way. Oh, okay. Straight into it or what? Looks like it.
Urianger! God, it's good to see you.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
You heard it too, then?
Aye. And all but certainly at the selfsame instant. Alas, pained as I was, I could make little sense of what few words did then reach mine ears.
Who do you think is responsible? Could this be the Ascians doing?
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known. Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
To Alamigo, then, without further delay.
One other thing. During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
Thou referrest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Well, that spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes, I noted precisely that at two apparently unconnected locations. I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little else. In every corner of the realm, they tell of places in which the ether hath grown thin. Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence of summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Indeed. I shall make it my task to... The voice. It calleth to me once more.
I hear it too.
Oh, does she go as well? Well,
Only you. Only you.
No! Ishtola! Urianger!
Throw wide the gates.
No! No, this can't be happening!
yeah, both of them go at this time. When they were talking about meeting up with Urianger here,
Urianger! Open your eyes!
I remembered, oh, okay, this is going to be when he goes, but it's also when Y'shtola goes.
Open your eyes, I beg you! Say something! Anything! Not again. Please, not again.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if it's ever explained why he's never able to actually pull you over. At least not in the same way. Because he ends up like using, or it requires like that device or something you find, right? I mean, I would assume it's just because, you know, the Warrior of Light is like too powerful or whatever to pull over. I mean, because he keeps aiming for us, but he's able to grab everybody else. I don't know. This is an unprecedented predicament for the Scions, but we must remain strong, the least of us most of all. It cannot be discounted that Mistress Kral has heard the voice as well. I will ask Tataru to send her word of what has come to pass. Do we have anybody else to... Confound these old bones. Useless as I am, I should have been the one to be struck down. Ochre, sister, and I will take turns to keep watch over the slumbering Archons. We'll not leave them unattended even for a moment. Didn't the self-same thing happen to Thancred? Who's bloody next? At this point, it's just Alphino and Alize, isn't it? And when Alize walked in at the beginning of that cutscene, I immediately thought of Alphino and when he gets taken, because he was out in the burn when he gets taken, right? I think it might have been right after the reunion with him, or maybe right before. We had spoken earnestly of doing more to ease the senior Scion's burdens, but not under these circumstances, nor less soon. I only hope I will be equal to the challenge. As a mage, I have some few scholarly acquaintances of my own, and will reach out to them for their insights. It may not be much, but 'tis my own little way of aiding Mistress Alize. Okay, I think that's everybody. Forgive me, that was an unseemly display. It happened before your very eyes, my lady. None here would have behaved any differently. We have borne the two of them to a private chamber, but tell me, is it true that Master Thancred languishes in a like state in Alamigo? I'm afraid so. Though given the circumstances, it would seem best to observe them together. I will send word to Lys that he should be brought here. Take heart, my lady. The world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folk of every persuasion. Someone out there is bound to know what ails our comrades, and how it may be cured. Thus will we rouse them, no matter what. That we will, Hori. That we will. But first thing first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. Oh, I promised I'd visit someone in Limsa Laminza. He's been waiting at Maelstrom Command for a while now. You know, you should come along too. I think he'd be glad to see you. Okay. I can't remember, was Thancred being taken the end of 4.4 and we're in 4.5 now? Or are we kind of doing like the last quest of 4.5? With Mistress Alize, are you? She usually visits alone. Still, it'd make a welcome change for the little one. As you've probably guessed, it's Gabu we've come to see. The private here will bring him out to us. Ever since the Maelstrom took him in, I've tried to visit as often as I can, and after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit again. It's difficult to explain. In a way, I can see, Gabu's almost like the others, just can still move around, but his mind kind of isn't there.
Here he is, my lady.
This is when they started up with the kind of the weird voice for the kobolds, the like Oliver Twist kind of English.
Gabu, it's been too long.
Or maybe not yet, because he still doesn't talk.
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I see. You're still fighting. I'm proud of you. We promised that we would come and visit you together, didn't we? Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet. You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens? I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones. Not like now. I've seen my share of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well. But to have the people I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them, that I cannot bear.
I mean, they both kind of say the same thing, but I kind of like the second one.
No, I don't. You're right. It's pure arrogance to imagine I can solve everything by myself. You'd think I'd have learned that by now. Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without you. Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
Let's return to the Rising Stones and take it from there. Thanks again for agreeing to come. It meant a lot to me. The story just keeps getting better and better. Just looking forward to it more and more. Just everything now. Because, I mean, it's all now lead up into Shadowbringers, and it's just so good. Do they continue to say the same things? Yeah. I just noted Hori isn't there anymore. Oh, he moved. We Scions who can still perform our duty must take up the burden of our comrades who cannot. We will continue our watch over the beast tribes and do whatever else may be required of us. Okay, and he says the same thing as he did before. I did some thinking on the way back, and I think Hori is right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily, we would turn to our own experts on such matters, but they're both among the stricken. I will begin by reaching out to the myriad guilds and research institutions here in Eorzea. Additionally, Grandfather and Minfilia had a wealth of connections between them, and I mean to explore those avenues too. We'll find a way to save everyone. Mark my words. Much and more has happened in recent days. Some of it for the good, some not so. But all around me, people continue their fight. Sorry, my mind is somewhere else, and it's like I'm reading but not quite there. From the shinobi who search for Alphino to the Alliance members who make ready to move against the Empire, they march on in the face of great adversity, bearing heavy burdens. Everyone is playing their part, and so must I. You have your own part to play, I know, and it's bigger than most, so I won't keep you. Just promise that you'll visit from time to time. And I promise I'll have good tidings to share with you when you do. So yeah, I think this is pretty clearly the end of 4.4, I would think. I mean, clearly she's like, okay, go off and do your own thing, but don't forget to stop by. God, this story is just so good. And I mean, it just now like hit that point where it's like, okay, like hold on to your butts. Yeah, I look forward to this. I'm almost like girding myself because I just love Shadowbringer so much. Oh, there's more. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, of course.
The Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now is the time to bring the Empire's might to bear. A word from your Radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Alamigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart. Have you no words for me? Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool. When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power, to further the cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament to my commitment. And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the Icon Slayer as easily as one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely. Deliberate if you must, but be quick about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt. Until then, I take my leave, Father.
I should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then, thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back. Elidibus was ever a warrior. A most tiresome trait, would you not agree? What? Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms. You do not make judgments, you administer them. Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is your concern. Elidibus may be an insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His choices as emissary seldom err. If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it. Oh dear, have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one to read. I pity you, I do. As they say, ignorance is bliss. And I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know. The Founding Father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos. Don't take it personally. I merely do my duty. To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power, and there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns. To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Alag.
You fiends are overfond of your own voices. Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
Such a waste of time and energy, both yours and mine. Lest you forget you are Emperor now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you pliant pieces for the game. Oh, do stop sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
Such a great character. Meanwhile, at a resistance encampment somewhere in the Empire. Oh, this is where they discover Black Rose, right? Oh. What in the world? Dead, all dead. Yet I see no wounds, nor any evidence of battle. Damn them. They finally used it. The Empire developed an alchemical weapon in Girabanya. A gas. Black Rose, it was called. And to breathe it is to breathe your last. And that did this? I thought the project abandoned, and its vile fruit destroyed. But naught else could have wrought such an atrocity. Yeah, I was thinking earlier, and I just got onto something else, but when they were talking about the phenomenon of the, like the lowering etheric density across the world or whatever, that's isn't that essentially like the the tide going out before the flood of ether from a calamity? I want to say that's what it is, but I'm not totally sure. Fools. And obviously this being the calamity that they're planning currently. Fools. What do they hope to gain with this butchery? Can they not see that a rule won through terror will not endure? How many more provinces must they lose? Nay, wait. This is not the work of men, but monsters. The Asians. It cannot be a coincidence that their trail led us here. Their objective was never to rule, but to sow strife and discord. Such a crime does indeed bear the mark of the bringers of chaos. Black Rose cannot be allowed to kill again. We must find the Asians and put an end to their plot. Thank you for watching this video. Tonight's stream was amazing. So part of it just has to do with, okay, so we did 4.4 is basically everything that happened in this stream. And the fact that it's what really starts the ball rolling toward Shadowbringers is what hits. I mean, so much so, this was the first night that I think I really had like a fit of emotion because Shadowbringer stuff. It just, I can't wait. I can't wait for Shadowbringers. It's coming up. It's coming up. So yeah, I doubt you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoy doing this stuff. But maybe. And if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join me live, again, Shadowbringers, then the link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Thank you again for watching, and have a good one.